everybody. So we are doing a follow-up to my previous drugstore haul. I've been using all this stuff a lot throughout the last 3 weeks, trying to really put it to the test so I can tell you guys all about it. So if you haven't seen that haul, I will link it below, but basically I hauled all this stuff, and instead of just hauling it and showing it to you, I want to be able to give you some information. So we are now following up, and I'm going to tell you about how all these products performed over the last 3 weeks. So let's start out with this NYX Strobe of Genius highlighting palette. This has 7 different highlights in it. The packaging is okay. I mean, it'd be nice if it had a mirror, but it just has the, you know, at least you can see through it. You can see what colors are in it. This was $30 Canadian. I'm in Canada, if you guys didn't know that. But anyway, I don't think it's worth the money. I think there's some really nice highlights in here, and then I think there's a few that are kind of hit and miss. But for example, there's a few very unique shades here. This lilac shade, you don't see the lilac highlights very often. This shade here is actually really beautiful rose gold, and I really like this shade in the middle too. It's just kind of a peachy, like a light peach highlight. This gold one I found to be super, super chalky. And then these two here, for me, they just didn't show up all that well. They were very, very subtle and just a little touch chalky as well. So this was kind of hit and miss for me. Overall, a miss because of the price, but if I were to buy it on sale, let's say for like 20 or 30% off, I probably would be okay with paying that. So that would be my recommendation if you're thinking about getting this. Try to wait for a sale, because it is nice to have lots of different options for that price if you are into that kind of thing. And there are some interesting, unique shades in there. So moving on to these Essence eyeshadows. Now, I think I had said in my original haul that I wish I had bought a darker one. Well, what I did was I went back to Shoppers Drug Mart where I bought these, and I swatched the really, really dark brown. And boy, am I glad I didn't buy it, because it was horrible. It was not pigmented at all. There was nothing to it. So these two, this one is called Rosie Flamingo. This one is called the Grammy Goes Glammy. So number 19, number 3. These are just their regular eyeshadows, okay? These were in, they were, I believe, yeah, in a like a limited edition display. But a lot of the times what Essence will do is they will make these limited edition displays, but they will include permanent products in them. So I think you can still find these. This is a little bit more of a pink highlight. This is more of a champagne highlight, but these are definitely highlight shades for sure. I'm wearing this one in my brow bone today. They are super, super babam. They are like nice, beautiful, icy, not glittery, not chunky, just like a sheer, not sheer, like a, you know, do you know what I'm saying? Like a sheen, that's the word I want. They're just like a nice sheen, and they are very, very like on point. Both of them. You could even use them as a cheek highlight as well. I didn't do that today, but I have, and I think it looked really good. So these two, like the highlight shades, I would say go for it. They are super cheap. They're like, I believe $3 each. So awesome value for those. If you're even just looking for a beautiful highlight, like for your cheeks, try that out. Okay, next is this Almay Liquid Liner. This is like, it's just black. What do I say about this? I liked it and I didn't. I think the liner itself is beautiful. It is a just nice flat matte black liquid eyeliner. The applicator, however, is so bizarre. So it comes out like this. It's not even a pointed, it's a point, but it's not, because it's so like bendy on the end that it just kind of, I don't know, you can't get a fine tip, you can't get a fine line, you cannot get like a nice fine edge at all with this. So the only way I could use this was to use like my Kat Von D liner first, and then go over the top of it with this, just to kind of deepen the pigment a little bit. Like, it is very pigmented and it's nice and matte, so I like that about it, but the applicator is bad. Now, what I would say is if you wanted to, you could just take this, dip your own, you know, well, could you? I don't know. Kind of a very small hole. If you had just like a fine tip eyeliner brush of your own, you could dip into it. Okay. Next, the Maybelline Color Tattoo Concentrated Crayon. This is in the shade 720 Lilac Lust. It's super creamy, nice and pigmented, very shiny, in crayon form. So it is just like the Maybelline, what are they called? Yeah, just tattoo, you know, pots, but in a crayon form. Now, I've seen these prices all over the board. When I bought it, it was $12. Then I saw it in Walmart for like $7. So price it out before you buy it. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of these. And I know I'm kind of in the minority. I don't like to put a cream base and then put eyeshadow on top. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do. I do have a few stick eyeshadows that I love, like the Laura Mercier ones, for example, but those obviously are super pricey. So this should, in theory, be a nice option, but I don't know. I don't love how shiny it is on my eyelids. It's not my favorite. So if you like this type of thing, it's now in crayon form. It's the same product it always was. It's great if that's what you like. It's just not what I like. Another product from Maybelline is the Maybelline Face Studio Highlight Blush in 20 Pink Rose. This has been around for a long time. I think it's okay. It's a very good everyday blush. I thought it was going to be a lot more pigmented than it was. I found I really had to continually build it up to get it to show up on my skin. So maybe it just wasn't the right shade for me. And I didn't really find I was getting a lot of highlight with it. Like my Hard Candy, what is it called? Oh, my Hard Candy Living Doll blush from the drugstore has way more sheen in it than this does. And so I was kind of disappointed in that because I had always heard that these were really great for like highlight and like having a highlight built into it, but I wasn't seeing it and I had to continually build it up. So it wasn't my favorite. Now this is pretty good. This is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum in one. So this is like a brush tip eyeliner. It goes on nicely. The brush to me is pretty much exactly like the Kat Von D one. So it's really great for creating a cat eye. I did not wear it today. This whole look on my face is actually all the new Tarte Rainforest of the Sea products, which I'm doing another video on. So I'm sorry I had to film them on the same day. Otherwise I probably would have worn a lot more of these products, but I just couldn't today. So I'm really sorry. But anyway, this eye boosting pencil. Two things I didn't love about it. Number one, it wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be. Like you can see, it's definitely not as dark as that, right? Here, let me put them next to each other. Not that I would compare these, but just in terms of pigment, you can see this Almay one is very, very, very pigmented and black, whereas the Physicians Formula one, not as much, right? So just to kind of show you how black it is, how it's going to show up, I didn't love that about it. And I also didn't love how it went over certain kinds of eyeshadow. So it did not go over like kind of chunkier eyeshadows as well as like, for example, my Kat Von D one, which will go over anything just easily. So it didn't perform as well in that respect. However, this is decent. So if you're on a budget, it's really great. It is easy to put on, easy to do a cat eye with. So overall, I would recommend it. These Essence sheer lipsticks, I had never even looked at them before. I didn't even really know they existed. And now I'm a believer. They smell really good. They smell like vanilla. This is 09, I Feel Pretty. And like, here, that's what I love about it. Look how you would think that would be so crazy. But no, it's just a nice sheer wash of color on your lips. And super hydrating, super moisturizing. Big win in my opinion. Super cheap. Let's just use the word cheap. Cheap does not mean bad, you guys. The quality is not cheap. The quality is great. So I totally recommend the Essence. I love Essence in general, and I want to keep trying more and more of their stuff. I think so much of what they offer is so fantastic. Another thing that I fell in love with is this Revlon lip butter. Now, these are new to me. They're not new to the drugstore. You guys, I'm sure, have seen them before, but like I used that much in just 3 weeks. I just kept using this over and over and over. This is the shade Juicy Papaya, and it's just this really nice orangey coral, but on my lips it just, you know, warmed them up. It just performed like a beautiful nude. Super moisturizing, lasted a really long time. Oh, this lasted a really long time too. I don't know if I said that, but anyway, just awesome. I went back and I bought a whole bunch, which you will see in a haul, I'm sure. So really, really love that. Really love the color though as well. This I wasn't as impressed with. If you guys know, I love the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, the new brow pencil. Wearing it today. It performs awesome. So I thought that the brow gel would be just as good. It's really not. It does not stand up to like my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, which is just what I love to use. My brows are not super unruly. The hairs generally stay in place. They're not super bushy or anything, but I do like to set them. Now, one good thing about this is the brush is tiny, fits nicely on the brows. You can really, you know, get in there. It's very much like the Benefit Gimme Brow brush. The thing I really don't like about this is right on the tip there, the product glops onto it, so it can be a little bit messy. So you have to check that and then every time kind of wipe it off on the container and then go in. But even that wouldn't be so bad if it was an awesome product, but it just doesn't set my brows as well as the Anastasia one does. It's okay, it's decent, but I think there are even better drugstore options than that drugstore option. So I wouldn't really recommend that. Another love it, is this new Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I did not realize that there were two shades of this. There's 1A and 1B. I got 1B, and this smells awesome. It smells like coconut tan lotion, and it's so pretty. Like, look at that. It's not super pigmented, which is actually what I like about it. It's just, I don't even know if you can see it there you can see it. It's just enough to warm up my face currently. I don't actually think this will be good for me in the summer because my skin tends to really soak up the sun and really darken up quite a bit, even if I'm wearing SPF and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think this is gonna be dark enough for me in the summer, but as of now, winter, spring, perfect, love it. It's matte, there's no shimmer to it at all. It's just a nice warmth. And so I just really love it. The last thing is this Garnier Micellar Water, and I wanted to end on a win, and this is a win. This is a winner, you guys. So the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Water All-in-One Cleansing Water. Now there is a blue cap, and that one I believe is for waterproof makeup. I don't really tend to wear much waterproof makeup, so I've just been using this. You can see how much I've been using this in the last 3 weeks. I mean, obviously it was full when I bought it. This stuff is awesome. It is so awesome. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know I've been searching and searching and searching for the best, like, good value eye makeup remover, face makeup remover. It did have two holy grails, but one was for my eyes, which was the Clinique Take Off the Day. Super expensive, let's not lie about it. For a makeup remover, very expensive, but it does work really well. And then for my face, I love the Simple Micellar Water, which is just cooling and hydrating. It feels great on your skin. And I still love those two things. And the Simple one is super, you know, the value of it is great. It's super affordable, but this has now replaced both because this takes off eye makeup remover like a dream. And then of course it can do the rest of your face as well. It's gentle, it takes everything off. It's just awesome. This has been hyped up. You know, it just came to North America in the last month or so. It's been over in Europe for a while and people have been loving it. Go try it out. You can buy it in many, many different places now. It is pretty much all over. So go give it a try. It is awesome. So you guys, that's it for my drugstore haul update for this month. I don't know the next time I'm going to do this. For March, I do have a haul for March, but I don't think I have all that much stuff from the drugstore, so I don't think I'm going to be doing an update on it. But if there is anything, of course, in any hauls that you want to see, always let me know. I'd be happy to give you guys updates on that kind of thing. You can always follow me on social media as well, like especially Instagram. Instagram is my baby. That's where I like to hang out. And so I will always kind of update you there if there's something I've been absolutely loving. All my info is always in the description bar as well. But if there's anything that you've been loving from the drugstore, make sure you let me know because you know, I love to try out new stuff. So that's it for today. So thank you so much for spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.